Good evening on the West Coast. Good evening in the mountain. Good evening in the central. And good evening on the East Coast. This is Angela Nirvana of Nirvana World TV, presents Metaphysically Speaking. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Twitter. Thank you, Facebook. And thank you, YouTube. I greatly appreciate you joining me on this journey. I hope that you are doing well with this course, that you are prioritizing your spiritual wellness over everything. And listen, don't beat up on yourself if prioritizing the truth of who you really are is foreign to you and you're finding it a challenge to factor it in on a daily basis. Do what you can and continue to strive and press toward the mark. Because as I often share with you, that the only way out is from within. So you definitely want to focus on your spiritual journey. You really do. You want to be able to spiritualize everything in your life, world, and affairs. Because without doing so, it's like pushing a boulder up a direct hill, like straight, like that 90-degree. And it is so much harder when you are trying to become a manifesting machine to do it without employing the spirit of who you are, which is who you are before you were flesh. I know that's a new idea for many of you who are tuning in to Metaphysically Speaking, but it is the truth. You are as much with one with the Creator as was Yeshua. For those of you who come from fundamentalist teachings of Christianity, and when you began to accept your oneness with the one that animates your body, the one that pumps blood through your veins, the one that makes your heart beat, when you start to accept your oneness with your Creator, that's when you become a manifesting machine. As long as you continue to ascribe to the fundamentalist teaching that you are separate and apart from your Creator, that your Creator is in fact some white Neptune looking cat, as Reverend Della often said, sitting up in the sky with a big old book, marking down your good and bad deeds and deciding whether or not to bless you according to those good or bad deeds, then you will continue to frustrate your potential, and you will continue to operate beneath your privilege. So I've been ordered by my inner Christ to bring the truth of who you are to you, for you to do with that information as you will. But I can tell you, I've always known that I and the Father, Mother, Spirit Divine were one. I just didn't have a faith with which to park that knowledge in until, like I mentioned on the previous live, my mother had the courage to stand up to my Jima and tell her that I didn't have to attend the fundamentalist church because no one had the answers. And when Jima asked about my salvation, my very brave mother told her mom, and this was back in the gap, okay, that I would come to learn about God in my own time and on my own terms. And I'm forever grateful for the revolutionary way in which she stood up to her own mother to allow me space to find my way to my inner Christ. And even if she didn't agree with a lot of the tenets of metaphysics, she respected I had found my way as a metaphysician into an understanding that helped me to understand that it was God's good pleasure to give me the kingdom right now. It's nothing I have to beg for. It's nothing that I have to scrape for. You know, I know many of you know the story of the prodigal son and how he took his inheritance and blew it and was too ashamed to return to the father. And he stooped as low as slopping around with the pigs before he came to himself and returned home. And the father had them kill the fatty calf and put on the finest robes and jewelry on the son who had returned, because in effect what he was returning to was a truth of who he was. And that delighted the father. Upset the brother for sure, who had stayed behind and did not squander his inheritance. But the same is true for us. We fall down and we get back up. And we've got a truly loving Father, Mother, Spirit, Divine that is there to help us in every facet of our lives. That spirit of who you are before you are flesh is just waiting for you to knock so the door will open. Seek and the teacher shall appear. It's waiting on you to wake it up and to invoke it. And we, as American freedmen specifically, hi to our allies who are here watching as well, we need to understand that oneness, because we are losing when we decide to believe more in the appearance and to believe more in what's turning out in the world and to believe more in all these different groups who are leveling so much hate and venom towards us than we do our inner Christ, inner Buddha, inner Allah capacity to deliver us from whatever binds us. Things didn't turn around in my life, world, and affairs until I got in alignment with the truth of who I really am and how to rely exclusively on that inner Christ to manifest the desires of my heart. You have to understand, family, that those desires that seem outrageous is your inner Christ calling you to your purpose, to the things that you're passionate about. So they're not far-fetched. They're only far-fetched to you because you put limitations on what your inner Christ can do for you. You do that. Like I often say, you can't have it both ways. You can't be made in the image likeness of God with mastery, power, dominion, and authority over everything and be a weak worm of the dust that can't do anything for yourself. The two cancel each other out. And you can't have mastery, power, dominion, and authority over everything except over everything is everything, right? What you think about it, what you feel about it, what you speak about it, how you act about it, and how you react about it is how you're manifesting what's showing up for you right now. So I'm here to introduce to some and reintroduce to others that inner Christ that's been holding you down. That was the footprints in the sand when you couldn't even recognize it. I'm praying that this will liberate some of the American freedmen before and after reparations. But you've got to not just survive before the checks deposit. You've got to participate spiritually in those checks depositing. We're not getting reparations any other way. I don't care how much folks out here are wailing and gnashing their teeth, throwing chairs one group unto another, disparaging our reparations, trying to tether on to the reparations. I'm here to tell you that until American freedmen spiritualize this demand, it will remain out of reach. And that is what I believe is missing. Folks are moving real nefarious with our reparations. That's why H.R. 40 hasn't passed. That's why the Pan-Africanists can't do anything with it. That's why they don't have the attention of the American freedmen pushing for it. You don't see us en masse pushing on this H.R. 40 and Pan-Africanist agenda to co-opt and corrupt our reparations to the point where Sheila Jackson Lee and her ilk are talking about cashless repair. No, the ancestors won't have it. So all of their efforts are being blocked, while all of us in the contemporary reparations grassroots movement, our efforts are being blessed because it was us who made the reparations demands a national debate topic that will not go away. No matter the symbolism the U.S. corporation called the government heralds at us, no matter how many groups they print money to give away our reparations to while telling us they don't have enough. You see, America will fail epically until it does right by American freedmen who built the wealthiest country in the known world with our ancestors' blood and their bones. Their very lives are in the soil. But there was something different in their approach to their emancipation, to their civil rights, to their affirmative action. They relied heavily in the spirit. Hello, Ancestor Malcolm X. Hello, Ancestor Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. So I'm here to tell you, until we do this work, hi, Kinky Curly Straight Talk. Thank you for joining the chat as my co-host. Until we do the work in the spirit, we've got nothing coming. Where reparations is concerned or any of our other resolutions are concerned. Because we of ourselves have never done it ourselves. It has always been the Spirit of the living God that indwells the temple and called it the best of all creation on the seventh day. That partnership and that knowledge and that wherewithal is how we have thrived in the world with as much hate and animus being leveled at us on a regular basis. It is the only way out is from within. So I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to get into the chapter for tonight because I don't like to take this particular broadcast over an hour. And as always, as Spirit gives me insight and wants to impart something to you, I will allow the divine in me to speak to the divine in you. Kinky Curly Straight says our spiritual gifts make things move. We will unblock all walls and hurdles, unseen and seen. Now that's some Kinky Curly Straight talk right there, my sister. Thank you for dropping those gems. I'm going to leave that up there. You are absolutely correct. And I thank you for rolling with your sister as I do all of you, whether you chat as a co host or are just laying back and meditating on what I'm sharing with you, picking up what I'm putting down, okay? Lesson 5, start a love affair with food. Perhaps you thought I must have meant end your love affair with food, not to start one. But no, I said it right the first time. It's time for you to start a real love affair with food. What you've had up to this point has been an obsessive relationship. And an obsessive relationship is not love. Whether with a substance or with a person, an obsessive relationship is a dance of the wounded, a carnival of pain, but not a real love affair because there is no love there. To think you need food that you don't really need, to practically inhale food, to crave food, to obsess about food, to binge on and then alternately avoid food, to control food and need to be rigid around it, none of these bespeak a love affair. Pain and compulsion and self-hate are not love. The true lover of food is able to take time with it. He can savor food and non neurotically delight in it. She can chew it thoroughly and actually taste it. She can eat without guilt and stop eating without too great an effort. He can celebrate how food is contributing to his health. She can wonder at it and appreciate its beauty. He can linger over a fruit stand and study the curves of a pear. She can gaze at a pomegranate and feel awe at the fact that thousands of years ago people ate these too. He can shop for groceries without wondering if anyone is watching him or judging him. She can gaze at a pretty bunch of grapes and consider whether she'd prefer them in her stomach or in a crystal bowl on her table. He can take one bite of something delicious, ecstatically breathe in the taste, and enjoy waiting before taking another bite. For her, the spaces in between each bite are part of the joy of her experience. No, the compulsive overeater is no lover of food. When it comes to your enjoyment of eating, your best days are not behind you, but ahead of you. The eating patterns of an overeater are chaotic, fearful, furtive, and out of control. And yet, these dysfunctional patterns are not your deeper problem. They are symptoms of the problem. Your deeper problem is the hysteria in your gut, the silent, traumatized shriek of, I'm empty, fill me, I'm empty, fill me. The irrational and irresistible energy that has wormed its way into your brain, stationed itself in your nervous system, and won't let go until you've eaten the whole thing. This course is a plan in dissolving your hysteria and feeling your emptiness by replacing it with love. Years ago, after a spate of horrifying incidents in which high school students perpetrated acts of violence against teachers and classmates, I noticed an interesting but, I thought, disturbing kind of discipline imposed at my daughter's school. All of a sudden, the students had not 5 minutes between class, but only two. Passing notes in class was punishable by serious time in detention. Outdoor activities of all kinds were forbidden, and downtime of any sort was also verboten. I lobbied the school administration, arguing that while I myself worked hard all day, every once in a while I needed to get up from my desk, stretch, do something silly for 5 minutes, go get some air, take a break. Kids are human and need that too. In encountering the school's resistance to my argument, I realized what had gone on here. This school, and perhaps others as well, had come up with a plan to prevent and discourage negative socialization by suppressing any socialization whatsoever. Don't let kids meet each other. Something awful might happen. Don't let them relax. They might use the time to hatch some awful plan. So, what is the plan here? I thought. Train them to be dehumanized zombies and then all will be well. My daughter left that school soon thereafter, but what stayed in my mind was the odd irrationality of trying to keep kids separate from each other at school. The answer to antisocial behavior among our children is not that we suppress socialization, but that we teach and model positive socialization for them. For me, that's a really big duh. So it is with dysfunctional eating. The solution to overeating is obviously not to deny yourself food altogether. The answer is not to deny yourself at all. You don't need to forget food, run away from food, deny yourself food, or avoid food. And the last thing you need to do if you want to stop thinking obsessively about food is to tell yourself not to think about it. Doing so is an invitation for such thoughts to overwhelm you. Food is not only your problem, it is also your teacher. It is a reflection of an even deeper problem, an opportunity and an invitation to face that which underlies your compulsive eating. Your only real problem, everyone's only real problem, is a separation from divine mind. Every step taken with love in mind is a step back to who you really are. This course aims to put genuine love back into your relationship with food. Not counterfeit love, not substitute love, but genuine love. Love and gratitude that food nourishes and sustains you. Love and gratitude that meals can build bonds among families and friends. Love and gratitude that food is something you have the right to enjoy once you learn to relate to it with divine detachment. Detachment means that you can take it or leave it. You can enjoy food if you're hungry, but you can leave it alone if you're not. Love, as always, is the key to making things right. By learning to love food, you will stop obsessing about it. And the obsession, not the food, is your actual problem. Obsession, whether toward a substance or a person, occurs when you're open to giving and yet don't know how to receive. You keep grasping for more because you're not feeling anything coming back. As a child, perhaps nothing was coming back. So now you keep trying to get more of something you're already convinced isn't really there. As you build a relationship with food that does give back, you'll begin to experience a relationship in which love has replaced obsession. The only way to attain healthy neutrality toward food is by learning to love it. And the only food you can really love is food that loves you back. Does a hot fudge sundae love you? Do you think? It's true that it can give you a momentary high, but so can crystal meth. For me, a special charge rather, from hot fudge sundaes was connected to the fact that when I was a child, my mother would always take me to Howard Johnson's for a Sunday to celebrate things like making a good grade or winning a contest at school. Unfortunately, my brain was then imprinted with the message that big wins should be accompanied by a hot fudge sundae. It took me years to disconnect from that. And only recently did it occur to me that my mother came up with this celebratory ritual as an excuse to indulge her desire for ice cream. Once you're a mother yourself, you understand your own mother so much better. No, hot fudge sundaes do not love me and they do not love you. They are full of sugar and processed chemicals that bring us anything but love. Those things feed cancer, increase cholesterol, decrease growth hormones, weaken eyesight, interfere with protein absorption, cause food allergies, contribute to diabetes and cardiovascular disease, impair the structure of DNA, create difficulty concentrating, reduce defenses against infectious diseases, lead to osteoporosis, and more. Now, I wouldn't call any of those things love. At the same time, this is not to say that eating a hot fudge sundae is forbidden for the rest of your life. It's simply to say that as you evolve to your highest sense of self, you won't even want to eat a whole hot fudge sundae. The experience will no longer feel like love to you. Oh, my mom used to ration our treats, okay? And it's amazing how I would be drawn to sugar in times of stress. In times of stress, whether good, bad, or indifferent, sugar is very, very addictive and very life debilitating. Okay, so you have to understand that everything that tastes good to you is not necessarily good for you. And so I've had to evolve and start to reach for mangoes or a banana or a green smoothie with those items in it, to start to appreciate foods with natural sugar in them. So these things are something you will evolve into. It won't be all at once, but just take it in. And as you work in the spirit, you will find ways to start to put the things that don't love you back down. And you will find healthier alternatives. And once you find healthier alternatives, you don't even miss the options that would put you into a food coma or cause your diabetes or your insulin to spike. You won't even miss it. But that's once you start to work in the spirit and develop a true love relationship with food that actually gives back to you. At the same time, okay, let me jump. Foods that love you are those that contribute to your well-being. From fruits to vegetables to whole grains, they make your body strong, fight illness, produce great skin, and keep you functioning normally. Speaking of which, when I start to experience any signs of excessive sneezing or coughing, I make sure I treat my water with limes, a touch of maple syrup, cayenne pepper, and chia seeds. It chases anything that was trying to creep in the way of a COVID or a flu or cold, bronchitis, pneumonia, chases it away. I also infuse my favorite garlic noodle recipe with a whole bulb of garlic. I add ginger and crushed red pepper. And it's amazingly delicious and it chases all the maladies away. You can literally cook food to your healing. You can put these items in your food and it chases down those coronaviruses that so many of us are prone to because we're dehydrated, meaning we don't drink enough water. And the treatment I just shared with you is called Stanley Burrell's Master Cleanse. You can look that up. He doesn't use chia seeds, but I use it for digestion in my drink. I don't know if you're familiar with boba, but it's one of my favorite little, I don't know what to call those. They look like gummy little black licorice uh, or little balls of, they look like black licorice, but they really don't have any flavor. But if you ever been to a boba shop, these are so much fun when they put them in my frozen milk tea or brown sugar boba tea, whatever it is. These are things I used to drink. I don't drink them anymore because they're full of sugar. But the chia seeds, when they swell in the water, it reminds me of the boba in those frozen drinks. And I enjoy that a great deal. But the chia helps with elimination. And so I find that often these coronaviruses creep in because we're not eating foods rich in nature's natural herbal supplements like garlic, like fresh ginger, like red pepper, like cayenne, like limes. When you put when you find ways to incorporate nature into your food, the food tastes better and it fights off all manner of coronavirus. It's really amazing how that truly works. Hi, OST, Big Loso YT. Greetings, Queens. I'm on ginger, cucumber, lemon, and frozen blueberries and celery. Oh, that sounds delicious. Okay, so do you juice that or do you make that into a smoothie? Because I happened on a great detox drink, but it's juicing, okay? It is the juice of about a quarter, about a third of a fresh pineapple. Ooh, water, yes. Well, this is what I do with my water. I put this, another detox I like to share since OST is sharing. See, that sounds very refreshing. Another thing you can do is you can juice a third of a pineapple along with half a cucumber, a piece of ginger. You have to slice it to get the juice out of the ginger. Slice it really thin, put it through your juicer, and it will juice the ginger for you. A whole lemon or lime. Then I juice the leftovers after soaking all week. That is a wonderful idea, OST. Thank you for sharing in the chat. So I juice the pineapple, the cucumber, the ginger, the lemon or lime. I peel that. A whole orange. I peel that. And if the apples are not organic, I peel those. If the cucumbers are not organic, I peel those. I run those through the juicer. And the refuse, all the fiber that spits out in the shoot, I add those to my green smoothie. So nothing goes to waste. And when I juice that, I dilute it with a bunch of ice cubes from my ice maker. Hi, DJ Segwan. Fancy meeting you over here at Metaphysically Speaking. Look at you. Okay, now I see you. But yes, and so I use the fiber from that to make my green smoothies, which are predominantly kale and natural apple juice. And I add to the smoothie and that refuse, or the whatever you want to call it, the fiber from the juicing. I add a frozen banana and either fresh or frozen avocado because everything else is in there. And it is amazing how I go back and forth between that green smoothie and, juicing, right? And I'm telling you, not to be gross you out, but elimination is proper. Because if your elimination is tight and it's hard and it's causing hemorrhoids or bleeding, you are not hydrated enough and you don't have enough of the right fibers in your system. When you go poopy doop, it's supposed to look like your intestines, family. So you can trust and believe that's what I'm on. That level of elimination. Not to gross you out, but I'm here to tell you that's what you want to see in the tidy bowl, okay? All that hard, you can't push it out. That's all of that eating that hates you. That's when you start to have issues with constipation. You're not drinking enough. You're not hydrated enough. You don't have enough fibers, the right fibers in you. And you're probably feasting on a bunch of fast food and junk food that has no nutritional value. Vegetables make brain cells grow and function correctly. Fruits provide healthy sugar and give you energy. And whole grains can help reduce the risk of cancer and cardiovascular disease. Funny story. Not so funny, really. Here I am having gained extra pounds because my daughter, as a track star, would love to go through the fast food joints immediately after practice. She was depleted and wanted something quick. And the difference between me and her is she's a track star. I'm far more sedentary in the second best half of my life, right? But what is so awesome and I get tickled by after dropping 20 pounds because she's off to college now and I'm able to fill the fridge with healthier foods that love me. Two things I noticed. When she came home from college and I was away, she called me screaming about there being nothing in the house to eat. The house was full of oranges and apples and cucumbers and kale. The refrigerator was full of these kinds of foods, but she was missing her crap food. And lo and behold, as she sees me eating healthier, she starts to crave for the juices that I make, the detox juices that I make. She craves the green smoothies. Do you know? She literally, I'm going to read that in a second, DJ. She literally had me order for her today a juicer and a blender for her college apartment. So what I'm trying to tell you, family, those of you that think you've got to get in the fast food lines with your kids because that's the only thing they will ever eat, It is simply not true. They will eat what you eat. They will take on and model what you do. My daughter now models what I do. And I wish I had done it long ago. But it comes when it comes, family. You cannot beat yourself up over these things. You can only strive toward the mark. And when you know better, do better. For those of you with kids still at home, start your love affair with healthy eating and watch them catch on. Involve them in the process. Okay? Involve them in the process of choosing healthy fruits and vegetables, of juicing, of making smoothies. You will be in awe how they will take to it because they see your enthusiasm over it. They see how fit you're becoming. DJ Segwan says, the word organic is a sham. Don't waste your money. It's a scam. Buy only from farmers markets, and even then, it's not all the way organic. Organic growth is very hard to grow on a mass scale. I'm an agriculturist. Thank you so much for that. Well, the beauty of what you just shared, DJ, is that you can literally, if you have a patio, or even indoors, you can learn to plant your own foods. Yaira, who's often over here, she has her own garden. So you can even control the growth of your food. Now, what I do is, Kinky Curly Straight says, keep dry snacks in the car like nuts, trail mix, beef jerky, bananas, organized, etc. Absolutely. OST says, look up broccoli sprouts. Look up broccoli sprouts. Broccoli sprouts is supposed to have SFN. It attacks the cancer cell itself. It's full of vitamins. I think you're saying broccoli and sprouts are full of vitamins and attack cancer cells. I just love it, family. Thank you for sharing that. But yes, family, your kids will model your behavior. And in today's world, there are more and more ways to find healthy food that is truly tasty. Now, for me, I don't waste money on organic. Not unless it's something like a broccoli or cauliflower. But if it's something I can peel like a banana, I'm not going to spend, $2 extra on organic bananas when I can peel the banana and eat from the inside. Same with oranges, apples, I can peel the skin. If I can peel it, I'm buying regular because the grocery store prices are ridiculous. DJ Segwan says, search Flav City on YouTube. Also, on the last show, y'all spoke on nut or seed milks. Y'all better restudy Dr. Sebi. Those milks still produce mucus in the body, aka cancer. Water with your smoothie only. Thank you, DJ Segwan. Thank you. Because my daughter loves vanilla almond milk. What can you recommend something that she can put in her cereal, DJ? We definitely need an alternative because the girl likes her cereal, okay? That's something she ain't put down yet. So please make recommendations for a substitute. I meant to say oranges instead of organized. I love the cuties. Very good, Kinky Curly Straight Talk. Thank you for sharing in that correction. I love oranges. I've like I said, I've grown a love affair with my food. And that was even prior to this Metaphysically Speaking creation and rereading this amazing book. So it's amazing, right? Like how you'll do this lesson right now and you may never even apply it in the now. But down the road, you find yourself altering everything about what you're doing. And you will never be able to say, well, you might be mindful that it related back to this course I'm sharing with you. But as I read or reread rather, this amazing book with you guys, I see how years ago, having read this book when it was first published, it eventually became a part of how I live. So don't underestimate the power in studying things of the spirit. Because even if you don't apply it right now in the process, you are being changed at depth. And inevitably, the information I impart to you here will catch up in your daily practice. It will manifest in the outer because somewhere along the way, you will start incorporating what you've heard and applying it to your life. And you will stand back and see those results. And you may, I didn't even know to attribute it to this chapter, truthfully. I didn't know that inevitably this chapter would catch up to how I'm living now. I haven't read this book in years. When was this book published? Let's see. I can tell you how long it's been since I read this, and now it's being put into practice in my real life experience. This was 2010, family. Hi, Babe Brax. Okay, go for it, fam. You can catch up later. Not a problem. Okay, so yeah, this was 2010. This was 13 years ago when this book was published. Thank you, DJ. I love almond milk as well. I'll try smoothies with water. Thank you. DJ Segwa, I suffer from IBS issues, and yeah, I still drink nut seed milk once and a blue. I don't think there's a substitute better than milk with cereal, cow or seed. I've been looking myself, so let me know. Okay, will do. If I find something, I don't eat cereal. That's my daughter's thing. I don't drink almond milk. I don't really drink milk. I had some milk recently when I had some. I made a Hennessy butter pineapple upside down cake. I'm always happy when someone needs me to cook for a function, because as much as I want some, I can't have the whole thing up in my place staring at me. And so I take it to whatever event I'm going to, and then I bring me a slice or two home. Okay. And so, yes, I had some milk with that. And I had the regular milk. I was real bad. Oh my God, because I haven't had regular milk in so long, but I had it for cooking. I had to cook something with it. And it was so yummy, but I haven't had it in years. And I'm really shocked that it didn't do a number on my system, because I am definitely lactose intolerant. But, I guess I didn't have enough of it to have an impact. But let me get back so we can move on and close out. It's like 6:49. Yo, new name is Pineapple, says DJ Segwa. Please don't call me that. It will encourage me to go and fix a Hennessy butter pineapple upside down cake. They are so delicious, family. It is just utterly ridiculous how good it is. Back to the text, okay. Correction, they are called broccoli sprouts. They attack cancer cells and are full of vitamin C. Okay, let us know where we can get those, OST. I know a couple of people in my experience. DJ, you are clouded. Not the pineapple and the cake. You are wrong with that. They are called broccoli sprouts. Okay, let us know where we can get broccoli sprouts. I know a couple of people experiencing cancer, and I would love to share with them about that. My late grandmother passed from ovarian cancer, and lots of Black women tragically are experiencing an increase in breast cancer. Okay, so OST got broccoli sprouts from Kroger's and Harris Teeter. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. I will look them up. We've got Kroger affiliates out here named Ralph's and Food for Less. I'll check it out. Now, see, your problem may not be that you eat so often, but that you do not eat well. Particularly in today's world, while it's easy to eat poorly, it's unnecessary. Today, we're in the midst of a food revolution, and that is very good news for the compulsive overeater. Restaurants now feature the best in nutritious, organic, even vegan meals. And even when they don't, you can learn to order from a menu in a way that benefits you. I've got to show you guys this picture. Spirit is telling me to share this picture with you. So let me stop sharing what I'm currently sharing and share with you this gorgeous woman, Black woman, who is, she is 70. And she actually has a vegan restaurant out here in Inglewood. Let me share this gorgeous woman. This is how you can look in your 70s when you have a real reciprocal love affair with your food. Hold on. Meet the 70-year-old vegan. Let's look at her. She's beautiful. Oh, I'm trying to make it large so we could just scroll through them. Looks 35, 70. She's over 70 and she looks like she's in her 30s. Meet Annette Larkins, a woman who is making a lot of people wonder if raw vegan diet can not only improve your health, but improve your looks. Look at this woman. So she has a video. I recently watched this video of 70-year-old vegan and raw food enthusiast Annette Larkins, who says eating a plant-based diet for more than 50 years has kept her body amazingly youthful looking. Okay. Now they talk about genetics here, right? Of course, genetics are at play too. So who really knows if these results could be reproduced? Oh, they can. It's in our DNA. Still, it is a fascinating reminder that what we eat does affect how we look. Look at her. Flawless. Let's go back. You see her here. I wish I could blow this up. Let me see if I can. This is Babette Davis. She's the one with the vegan restaurant. Look at her. Look at that picture. This is 70, y'all. She's a vegan entrepreneur. Look at her here. At 70, vegan chef Babette Davis is living her best life. The athlete and restaurateur on practicing well-being inside and out. Look at this gorgeous woman. Can y'all see, or is it too small? Let me check. It's too small. Hold on. Don't make me small. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this. Wait, let me see. Look at this woman. Oh my God. Wait, y'all. I got to show you this. I've got to show you this. Let me stop this one. This is 70. Watch. Okay, I'm going to try to make it small enough so you can get a picture of her whole body. Look at her. This is vegan at 70. Babette Davis. She can run 900 steps. Hold on. In one afternoon, she gets up at the crack of dawn to run her vegan restaurant. And oh, yeah, she's a grandmother. I got to keep her up while I read about her on the next slide. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Welcome to the live. Okay, let me see. And oh, yeah, she's a grandmother. She's 70-year-old Babette Davis, and she's a force of nature. Davis recently went viral. Let me make sure y'all can see that. Oh, no, you can't see it. Hold on. Just a second. Let me see now. Okay, there she is. DJ said black don't crack unless you smoke crack. She is fine. Oh, I would love to bring, who is OB? Please share with me who OB is to come on and spit some health fire on TRP TV. Yeah. DJ goes on to say broccoli sprouts can be grown at home for pennies on the dollar, and micro farmers are making thousands from home growing microgreens, aka sprouts. Wow. Google. Okay, let me go back. It seems like there's a direct correlation between when I minimize her picture on the slide that I'm sharing and when I'm reading over here. So let me just, because I'm going to close this out. You get the idea. Oh my gosh, y'all. Y'all not going to believe this. Hold on. I got to show more pictures. Hold on. Do y'all see that? Let me make sure you can see it. I'm going to blow that up a little bit more. Look at this 70-year-old woman. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me make sure you can see it. Okay, you can see it. Family, no excuses. You just got to get to that place where there are no excuses. Okay. I'm going to close out with this and pray us out. Okay. So she's 70-year-old. Okay, I read that part. Davis recently went viral for a series of portraits showing off her athletic physique, which she's been honing for 3 decades. It's been an awe-inspiring journey for the LA-based chef. She became a self-described health crusader after meeting her husband in 1990, who introduced her to veganism. The book Fit for Life by Harvey and Marilyn Diamond became her health Bible. If one of you guys in the chat can write that down, I'd so appreciate it. The book Fit for Life by Harvey and Marilyn Diamond became her health Bible. In 2008, at the height of the recession, she opened her vegan restaurant, Stuff I Eat, in the underserved community of Inglewood, California, despite naysayers cautioning her that the demographic is not right. But the restaurant took off and continues to thrive, and so has Chef Babette. She's made countless television and festival appearances over the years, has hosted a cooking show, and has amassed over 134,000 followers on Instagram thanks to her uplifting and outspoken videos about everything from her impressive workouts to animal and human rights. Here she shares powerful words with Leica about her positive outlook on life, her daily routine, and the importance of fighting for justice for all living beings. So they ask her, what does that number 70 mean to you now? What is your energy level like? She goes on to say, check this out. I go to bed anywhere between 7 and 10 p.m. I usually awaken between 2 and 2:30 every morning. Then I do my 30-minute workout with Fit On, which is a fitness app. Get in the shower and get to work at Stuff I Eat anywhere between 4 and 5 a.m. I do all the prep work. Like for Thanksgiving, it was peeling a box of yams or prepping 4 boxes of greens by parboiling, a method of semi-boiling as the first step in cooking. I had a whole bunch of string beans that I had to pick and clean and break. I can do so much up until I start having issues with my hands due to overuse syndrome. I am an overdoer, massive amounts of energy. I don't know how to be 70. You know what I mean? Because I never stopped. I did not stop. Next question. How do you feel in your body now? What are some things that you're amazed that you can still do? She says, I have not done the Santa Monica stairs literally in years. I just went to the stairs in Agora Hills in Calabasas, California, over 300 stairs straight up. I did it 3 times. The only thing sore on me was my calves. And the next day after the stairs, we did a hike. And the next morning, I got up and did a 4-mile walk because I wanted to keep it moving. So that gives me an idea of what kind of shape I'm in. Next question. Now that you can take stock of the past 30 years, what are the most important lessons that you've gleaned from combining a vegan lifestyle and fitness? She responds, what I've gained more than anything is appreciation for the incredible human body. I appreciate it so much, and I've gained a respect for it. I'm so grateful to be in this form right now, to experience being a human. I want to, whatever the intelligence has for me to do, take this human vessel and inspire people to be their better selves. We can only be our better selves when we feel good. It's very difficult for us to be at the top of our game when we're sick and when we just don't feel good. You need to be able to fuel yourself properly, and you got to have decent thoughts. I have to keep my thoughts pure. This is why I created Metaphysically Speaking, because a bunch of the trauma that's happening in the reparations movement right now was corrupting and co-opting my peace mentality. Welcome to the live. I'm so grateful to be in this form right now, to experience being a human. Let me go back to the other text. Hold on. I want to finish this article. Uh-oh. Okay. You've made a very important point. The mind aspect of health. How do you navigate yourself back to positivity, especially now? Now, remember, family, in the archives, I shared with you that your mind and your thoughts are what? Your direct connecting link to the divine mind. What you think, speak, feel, how you act and react are connected to your oneness with your inner Christ, Buddha, Allah, whatever you refer to, that spirit that you are before you were flesh. Your mind is your connecting link to God. It's a weird time. Positivity is in knowing that I've only got each and every moment to experience this thing called life, period. That's all that's guaranteed to me. It serves no purpose for me to live in the past, and there's nothing I can do about tomorrow. I understand that to keep myself halfway sane, because you can stress yourself out worrying about the next 6 months, and people do. People have heart attacks over constant stress and worry. Instead of enjoying and experiencing each and every moment that is guaranteed to you, we spend most of our time outside of the moment. Spiritually, it never sat well with me because I knew that I could never change certain things by stressing over them. You got to stay closer to the now and not wear yourself out and beat your heart up. We are literally here 1 second and gone the next. People always say, live like it's your last day. No, live like it's your last second, because that's all you've got. Our heart beats 1 second and stops the next, and that's when your time of death is. And what about stress? How have you handled it during COVID in terms of your business? Never stressed about COVID. And I'm going to tell you why. My husband said to me, we're never thinking about closing stuff I eat, period. Done. We're going to have somebody come and pick this food up and take it to our customers. We're going to reduce the number of days that we're working, and we're going to shorten the hours, and we're going to keep everybody at work, and we're going to keep our doors open, because we can only depend on ourselves. And that's exactly what we did. We never closed our doors, and nobody ever had to lose their job. We still been hiring people. We don't have as many hours. Of course, we're not making a lot of money, but we're able to pay our bills, and we're going to get through this. And we're making arrangements to maybe do a little store in the front. Now, that reminds me of the other amazing Whole Food restaurant. If you're ever in Los Angeles, visit Stuff I Eat, and also Simply Wholesome. They've got a grocery store, and they sell vitamins and supplements and books on one half of the restaurant, and the other half is for sitting and dining. And they've got an outside patio where they bring in reggae bands in the summertime. Okay? I want to share this other picture of her while I finish off this article. Hold on. Let me make sure you can see it. Yes. Okay. You've maintained a positive outlook despite this calamitous situation. She says, what's more calamitous than the virus is the behavior of the human that is so selfish and so childish and so ridiculous, and believing in some of the weirdest stuff like QAnon. What would make anyone think that somebody, well, as stupid as Donald Trump, her words, not mine, is the person that is supposed to take care of everything? Not. We have exacerbated the problem. I don't think the pandemic needed to do what it did. I think we could have gotten a handle on the virus like some of the other countries have. Just put the mask on or stay home. Come on, give back. We're all in this together. Or how about me speaking? Let's not invent pandemics in the first place. Next question. Another facet to this is COVID being a zoonotic virus that was passed on to humans from animals, and how much this calls attention to our treatment of animals on this planet. Um, that's another thing. What made someone think it was a good idea to put millions of chickens in a factory farm? Can you just imagine how disgusting the entire situation is? They're pooping all over each other. They're giving growth hormones. These chickens are looking like turkeys while they're still babies. We don't even have to eat them. Our food grows right out of the ground. You can pick it off a tree. And humanity creates this massive mess. We don't have enough land mass to raise the cattle for everybody to eat cows. I don't want no bloody cow. That's flesh. That's like eating you. Now these are her views. Okay. You summed it up in such a straightforward way. You just found out a little bit more about where Babette's head is. She laughs. There are some things that I really would love to say on Instagram that people would be upset with me about. So I always have to consider the whole. I'm not trying to hurt anybody because I have a point. I try to post in a way that encourages thinking about our actions as though we're on the same page. You know, it's not right for a police officer to put his knee on somebody's neck and watch the life leave the person's body. That's not right. Anybody knows that that is not correct. And if you don't know it, that means you're just as mean as the officer that did it. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because we are at 7:13. And I want to conclude our lesson for today because Spirit led me a different direction because of my co host. Let's see here. Thank you so much, Kinky Curly Straight, for writing the book down for me, Fit for Life by Harvey Diamond. Hi, Ivy Dreams. Very positive, sis. Hi, Freeman Holocaust survivor, us. Howdy, family. Kinky Curly Straight Talk says, people who live near chicken farms, I feel for them because it stinks. Yes, family. I feel for all of our people who are redlined into economically hazardous neighborhoods and tenement housing. Environmentally reckless communities and tenement housing. It's causing sickness. COVID just added, piled on. Okay, so I'm going to jump because, we have so much left to read, but I want to get to some of the homework, okay? Because you can pick up the book and continue reading lesson 5. So let's get into the homework. It all begins, okay, let me see here. So basically, this homework is about building new rituals of healthy, wise, non-secretive, and loving eating. It all begins with a beautiful napkin. In addition to thinking that's the dumbest thing you've ever heard, you might also be thinking that you already have plenty of napkins. Thank you. And you do not need another one. Let me make myself bigger here and bring back our candles. Just a second, family. I like the candles. They're very soothing. Let me bring back my candles. and we will finish out this incredible chapter. Okay, there we go. So, your drawers might be brimming with napkins. You might have inherited linen from your grandma or bought an embroidered set from Italy or France. None of that matters now. You need a new one. Now, these are all recommended, okay? You don't have to do them, but they're recommended. For the ones you have belonged to the old you, it serves you at this point to understand the power of ritual. This course is asking a lot of you, from making lists to writing out feelings to procuring new items to doing ceremony and so forth. It is very much a to do kind of book. Yet these actions are not gratuitous. They form a specific curriculum and fundamentally altering your mental habit patterns, thought forms that have had you forever looping back to very self destructive behavior. It does not matter how quickly you move through these lessons, but it does matter how specifically and thoroughly you do them. You are given a tremendous you are giving a tremendous gift to yourself, even when you can't help thinking, oh, come on, I have to do that. If you simply do the lessons as they are described, if they don't work, then they don't work. But if they do work, your life will change forever. A new napkin is important. You can't build new rituals using tools that represent the old. And the last person in the world who should be discounting the power of ritual is someone who regularly performs the rituals of secret and excessive eating. Driving around in the middle of the night, aroused by the thought of food, the way a heroin addict is aroused by the thought of heroin, opening and closing the refrigerator 100 times in order to check whether mommy's love might be in there now, and scanning supermarkets for hours in a heightened emotional state, just looking at all the food, whether or not you're going to buy anything. No, don't try arguing that you're not into ritual. Nor should you discount the notion of brain triggers when it clearly doesn't take too much of a stress factor to send you straight into the arms of food, most likely to give you a temporary high and then long-term despair. You will undermine your negative rituals by replacing them with sacred ones. These will naturally lead to healthy eating, which will naturally lead to weight loss. Amen. Back to the napkin. It must be beautiful, as beauty is divine. And this needn't cost you much money. You can buy a beautiful napkin for very little, definitely less than you would spend on your next binge. Choose any color and any style. Just make sure it's something you love. Next, you're going to buy a plate. And no, once again, the plates you already have will not do. Just as Orthodox Jews have a different set of dishes for Sabbath and holiday dinners, meals consecrated by God, so you are going to obtain a sacred plate for use during this process. You are rehabilitating your food appetites by making them holy. I know you might feel that your relationship with food is so dysfunctional, that your addictive patterns are so ingrained and have gone on for so long that there's simply no way to turn things around at this point. Once again, if you had only yourself to rely on in order to make these changes, then your anxiety would be justified. You are not alone, however. You have placed your problem in divine hands, and divine power is transforming you. That is why you are turning every step of your rebuilding process into a sacred experience. You're taking every step with God in mind. You will interrupt old patterns by replacing them with something beautiful and good. For where there is light, darkness cannot be. Where there is a connection to the sacred, compulsion cannot stand. In the presence of the real you, all that is not you will simply fall away. The elements that make up this lesson are these: one new beautiful napkin, one new beautiful glass, one or two new beautiful plates, one new beautiful knife, one new beautiful fork, one new beautiful spoon, one new beautiful placemat, two candlesticks. They can be ones you already have. Two new beautiful candles. One beautiful piece of music, especially wonderful to play while dining. Your family members, friends, or whomever you might live with are not being left out of this exercise, and you might wish to tell them that. The act of dedicating a single place setting is simply a response to the demands of your own healing and not anything you're doing to separate yourself from others. What is not allowed here are paper napkins, a paper or rubber placemat, paper or plastic plates, or a plastic knife, fork, or spoon. All of those suggest eating on the run. And one of the patterns we're moving away from is quick eating. Quick eating is a dangerous trigger for the compulsive overeater. It triggers more quick eating, and quick eating means more food. Quick eating is a way of triggering a chemical rush and achieving an addictive high. It is very important in laying the foundation for the new you to cultivate a slower life. For by slowing down certain aspects of your life, you'll become a slower eater. And by eating more slowly, you are more likely to eat well. There are many reasons, certainly, for why you might eat like an army is chasing you. Maybe you feel guilty about eating whatever you're eating and want to get it over with so fast that no one sees you. Maybe you have so much despair associated with eating anything that you eat quickly in an effort to eat the despair. Maybe as a child you had to eat quickly simply in order to get enough food. It doesn't matter the reason. Sacred ritual moves molecules, transforming energy in both your mind and body. A beautiful napkin, a beautiful plate, a beautiful glass, a beautiful knife, a beautiful fork, a beautiful spoon, and a beautiful placemat will help you. Candles will help, and they are not immediately going into your kitchen or even into your dining room. They are going on your altar until you are ready to inhabit the energy they represent. You will place everything on your altar in a beautiful array as you prepare a feast for the real you, the eater who has not quite arrived yet, but is being beckoned as you listen to this. The you whose appetite is elegantly aligned with the spirit within you. And part of how we beckon her is by laying out her table setting and placing it on the altar. To paraphrase a well-known adage, set the table and she will come. Close your eyes. See your altar and the table setting you have placed upon it. Now, see with your inner eye a vision of an angel arriving and sitting before your new table setting to witness the beauty, to enjoy the experience, to bless what is happening, to merely be. Allow yourself to witness this for as long as you can. Perhaps the divine being will invite you to sit as well. Or perhaps you will find yourself merely witnessing what is happening. Whatever you see, simply allow the images to live within you. Father, Mother, Spirit Divine, thank you for helping me to begin anew, to rebuild my temple, and to restore my body. Thank you for sending my angels to help me. May angels oversee my food and sit with me while I eat. May food, which I have used to hurt me, now become a blessing, and only a blessing in my life. And so it is. I want to thank you for tuning in to Nirvana World TV presents Metaphysically Speaking. I hope and pray it was as good for you as it was for me. Continue your medical, it is medicine for the soul. You want to continue with your prayer and meditation practice at the top of your day. Make time during the afternoon and especially in the evening. You want to make sure you are allowing yourself to fall asleep to meditative music for what you want to manifest in your experience, whether it be weight loss, and increasing your finances, your ultimate career that you have passion for. Okay? You want to play that as you sleep and let that lull you to sleep. You can find many of these on YouTube. One of my favorite is Jason Stevenson. Freedman Holocaust Survivor Us recommended David McGraw for his weight loss meditations, but Jason has them too. He's my favorite. I love his voice. It's very soothing to me. Good cat. Look him up. So whatever you want to see made manifest more of in your experience, meditate on it as you sleep. It will transform you in the subconscious. You'd be amazed. It will work on that subconscious as you rest, family. Get plenty of rest. Hydrate. Take up some of the recommendations to fall in love with food that loves you back. Okay? So make sure you're doing those things. Tomorrow, we will endeavor on day 8 of our 21-day spiritual weight loss lessons for surrendering our weight forever. So tomorrow will be build a relationship with good food. And as always, we will allow the ancestors and spirit to move and teach the lesson. If we don't get through the entire chapter, everything is still in divine order. And you will have gotten the spiritual sustenance that you came here for. So with that being said, family, it's time to pray us out. I'm going to start with the denial and affirmation. I hope you're writing the denial and affirmation daily, or at least meditating on it as I say it to you. That pain, sickness, poverty, weight, old age, nor death can master us, for it is not real. Why is that, family? Because we are spirit, perfect, whole, harmonious, and complete. Therefore, nothing can hurt us or make us sick, broke, or afraid, for spirit is God. And God is never sick, nor broke, nor hurt, nor afraid. We manifest our real selves through these body temples right now. And so it is. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God truly is, because family, you are the face of God. You are the voice of God. You are the body temple of the Spirit of the living God. If no one has told you how much you are loved today, know that I love you. And I'm grateful to each and every one of you who are choosing a relationship with the one that indwells your body temple. In 23, I am so grateful to each and every one of you that chooses to spiritualize everything that we want to see made manifest in our experience. I'm grateful to you for pursuing the idea that we are born to be manifesting machines. Until tomorrow, family, you make it a beautiful, God-inspired rest of your evening.